Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. As always, this is Rich, and I hope you're all having a great day wherever you are in the world. Today, we're going to talk about XRP, and many people have asked me in previous videos how there is any money in custody. Brad will explain that to you in a moment, but I wanted to let you know that the banks are considering Ripple's custody option. In fact, I believe Brad changed his mind about custody since the banks requested it. The second biggest bank in Germany highlights that Ripple custody was the only option that was appropriate for the job and could support our target operating strategy, which originates from DZ Bank. Other banks will also choose Ripple's custody solution. Listen to Brad's remarks here. By 2030, the macro environment surrounding custody of digital assets is predicted to reach over $1 trillion, and people will unavoidably require a location to store those assets, a safe place to keep them, and the ability to transfer them as well, having good on and off ramps, and even a tokenization engine. Some of the work that Ripple is doing around central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. So we think that there are a lot of pieces that come together, and we already had. I recall when you and I first spoke, I was on the phone with one of the biggest top 10 banks in the world, a bank that Ripple was already working with, and they asked us if we could assist them with their custody. This was before the medical acquisition, and we weren't able to do that. Therefore, when we consider that synergy, the ability to tell that current Ripple customer, hey, here's a best-in-class, going head-to-head, time and time again, winning on the custody level, to be able to bring that product to them, I think is a great opportunity for the two companies to work together. Think about it like this: people will start tokenizing assets, and they will need a place to store those assets. Desire a solution for an on-off ramp because they want to be a one-stop shop and have a lot of money in custody. Ripple is putting all of that together. Brad once claimed that custody solutions are quite costly and that they will also disrupt that market, although custody comes with a high cost. The future of finance is being built in the Middle East, according to a Ripple executive, with oil money heading to XRP. XRP is BU designed to transport anything of value, as I have stated several times. For example, if you want to move 1 million barrels of tokenized oil, you must switch to tokens before the real. Even if actual oil travels between nations, Ripple already has that solution in place. But who will connect all the oil? Kuwait, the glimmer of Trang Bricks Kuwait and Ripple XRP are being used, and now that Trang Glow accepts XRP for transfers, they will use the actual token. As I mentioned before, XRP can move anything of value. If they begin using XRP to transport oil, the price of this cryptocurrency would soar. Kuwait finance house names Ripple a world-class corporation amid partnership for fast cross-border service. Very quickly, and I believe we are already at the point where that is going to happen. It begins with remittances, which seems to be how Ripple enters the market. It always starts with remittances. After that, they discuss switching to XRP, the secret sauce, because Ripple is a great technology that makes everything quick, inexpensive, and secure. However, once you have both Ripple and XRP, it's even faster, cheaper, and more secure, which is why everyone who will be using it. They will eventually want to use XRP as well, and when that occurs, we will become extremely wealthy. $10,000 per XRP is programmed. How many of you think that? Please share your thoughts in the space provided below. This is how I see it. We are investing in what the elites are considering as the future of the global standard bodies. The IMF, the World Economic Forum, and the Bank of International Settlement (ISO) are two places to look for CBDC innovations, which are always growing and developing. Many nations are also bringing their CBDCs too. When you look at this, and you look at the big picture, I mean globally, because you have to look beyond just the United States and beyond Europe, start thinking about BRICS and other countries as well, and consider all the value that XRP is going to be moving. Then you have the payment innovations, big names there, Fed and now Volanti SBI, all of whom are game changers. Finally, you have the industry organizations, the Euro Association, Module Loop, and the Pound Foundation. I genuinely think that XRP can reach $10,000 per XRP. People can argue endlessly about market capitalization, past cycles, and other things, but based on the names that Ripple is associated with, I believe that this was all planned out a long time ago, and that everything is now coming together perfectly. It will only be a matter of time until the switch is flipped. Despite multiple attempts to replace traditional financial services like SWIFT, Visa, and central banks, none have gained much traction aside from. Since 2012, Ripple, with more than 500 financial institutions using RippleNet, it stands out as the only company that has made significant progress in this area, while other initiatives, like JP Morgan Chase's, have emerged. Ripple has outlasted the competition and established itself as a reliable substitute for SWIFT for cross-border payments. Blockchain technology from Ripple is still a quicker and more effective fix. Nowadays, Ripple is the main contender to upend established payment systems. Ripple has always maintained that path, and now that nations are abandoning SWIFT, things are already changing. Banks will choose to use the Ripple solution as an alternative to SWIFT as well, but Ripple wanted to improve the SWIFT system, which is what they set out to do. They wanted to have real-time payments that are inexpensive, and they wanted to remove all those fees. For this reason, the banks are battling Ripple, but it's like a losing battle, because that's what the world desires. People want that because they want to be able to walk into a bank, put down some cash, and say, listen, I want to transfer money from here in the United States to Mexico. They want that to happen so quickly that, while you're talking to your family on the phone, the transaction took place before you even hung up. They don't want to pay $30 or $40 because moving money is very expensive. That's why Ripple is so disruptive and will keep up its disruption of this industry until eventually it's just going to take over, and I believe they will eventually replace SWIFT. Listen to Brad right here. I believe that what we're doing and implementing on a daily basis is actually replacing SWIFT, in that we've signed up with more than 100 banks, some of which are the biggest SWIFT-enabled banks globally. In fact, last week we saw a remittance company that uses Ripple's technology lower the cost per transaction to its customers from $20. They saw an 800% increase in usage overnight, which is the kind of dynamic that SWIFT cannot support. We are able to address this right now, and once you can do that, everyone will want to use the technology. Those who work overseas and want to send money home will want to use it, as will those who send money from one person to another. Even domestic micropayments will be huge. That's how we got to a $100 XRP early on, but you see how the world is changing, and SWIFT has been dragging their feet because no one has ever been a contender to take their place in the world. Over time, this will lead to a 4-digit XRP because Ripple is simply going to eat away at all of those 11,000 banks that SWIFT is in partnership with year after year, and as that keeps happening, the price of XRP will just have more and more gradual upward movement as the blockchain paradigm. Listen up. On the internet, most of the value is captured by applications like Google, Facebook, and Amazon, while the underlying protocols like HTTP or TCP/IP are free and mostly invisible to users. In contrast, blockchain adds value to its protocol layer, the foundation infrastructure like XRP Ledger, Algo, or Hara. This is because blockchain systems are fundamentally different from the traditional internet and how value is distributed. As more users and data move to blockchain platforms, the protocol layer becomes more valuable, resulting in a system of accelerated value capture at its core. This shift is significant because it alters the distribution of wealth and innovation in the digital economy. Technical enablers directly capture value through transaction fees, staking, and other mechanisms. Given that blockchain adoption is expected to increase to over 100 million users each day, the basis of these systems is not. For you as an investor, this highlights the importance of concentrating on infrastructure blockchains because they power the entire ecosystem and benefit the most from increased usage, which is what the Internet of Value is. Ripple is becoming the Internet of Value because only the applications built on top will hold the greatest long-term value, meaning the tokens of the Layer 1 blockchains will capture the majority of the value in this shift. Users, as more and more adoption occurs, we will see the price of XRP continuing to soar. When I first started this channel in 2022, I kept pointing out the growth, but even at that time, I didn't fully understand how big this actually is becoming and how quickly it's moving. People are using blockchain in payments without even realizing it, but time is coming and we are getting there faster than I even thought it would happen. Over the past 2.5 years, I have seen more expansion for Ripple, Hey, Stellar, and so forth, and that growth occurred so quickly while no one was paying attention to it. Even now, everyone is preoccupied with Bitcoin, but the biggest disruption is occurring in real time because somewhere in the world, Ripple or one of its partners is putting in a new rail, and more infrastructure is being built around Ripple or its partners. All of this is taking place while everyone is preoccupied with the mainstream.